Hello everyone, welcome to Infinity Stack. In this video, I will show you how to build a complete chatbot application using the MERN Stack. It's going to have a modern and clean interface. For example, when we type something like what is JavaScript, the response will directly come from our server. For the frontend, we will use Next.js, and for the backend, we will build our API with Node.js and Express.js. This tutorial will be in two parts. The first part, we will focus on building backend API, and the next one will move on to frontend. I highly recommend you to code along with me and try it by yourself. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. So let's get started, and please subscribe to our channel. Stay with us. Thank you. So let's start the first part. So we will open the CMD, and here we will go in my D directory. So let's create a folder named MERN Chatbot and go to in that directory MERN Chatbot. Now create another folder that is MERN Chatbot server, and now go to that directory MERN Chatbot server. So this is our directory open using VS Code. Now we need to do it npm in it. So we have initialized the npm and say okay, our package name will be MERN Chatbot server, version will be same, description let's say MERN Chatbot, entry point will be our index.js, test command, okay, git repository on it, keywords, empty author, stack, license empty type, okay, and we can start. So you see that our package.file JSON file is installed. Now we need to install some packages. First install npmi course, then we need to install .env, then express, mongoose, and nodemon. So it is installing. It takes few minutes. Yeah, it has successfully installed. Now we need to create here index.js file. In package.json, let's say type would be like module. We want to use the module type, and here let's say start will be our start node index.js. This will be our start, and another start def will be nodemon.index.js. Okay. Now here we need to create file.env. Here let's say we use the port 8000 MongoDB. We need to paste them. So we need to go in the let's go in the MongoDB to create a chatbot. We need to sign in here. If you haven't any user, just sign up from there. I'm using the Google sign-in. So after signing, this portion is come. So here we need to create a project. So I'll click on that. I need to create a new project. So let's say new project. Name it MERN Chatbot. So this will be our project name. So let's create it. Okay, we have created the project. Now we need to create a cluster. So let's create it. Name will be same. It will be the free and cluster 0. Okay. So create for deployment. Here we will use this is our username and password. Okay, we have to okay. Then choose that we need to create a user first. Then choose the connection method. We use the MongoDB driver. So just waiting processing. So this is our DB all the portion, and just paste it here, and everything is saved. Now here we need to give that okay, it's done. Name it MERN Chatbot. So let's put it here. So here we just need to paste the MERN chatbot here. Okay, and now our DB setup is done. env. Now we need to create a package.file. So let's close this one out. Let's put it clear. So we need to initialize first express. So let's use hit the terminal and let's use it. Import express from express. So we have import express. Then we need to import the .env. Import .env from .env. Then we need to import. Well, let's import course for course policy from course. Then we need to import the mongoose for database connection. We have to import the mongoose. Yeah, now we need to initialize our app. So course app to express. Now we need to put .env.config. Now we need to initialize our port to process. So this will be our port, and now we need to declare the middleware. So first of all, we use the app.use express.json. Now we need to initialize the course policy in the middleware. So course. Okay. Now let's start. Now start the server app.listen. We will initialize our port, and here we say that console.log server is running. So yeah, if we now start npm run start dev, so we'll see that our server is running. Now we need to connect with our databases. So for that we use the mongoose.connect method. Here we will pass our process.env. Let's say our name is MongoDB. Then we will use the then methods. Then we will receive callback. In then we have the callback whether this connection is correct. Let's set console if success. Then there will be that connected to DB. And another is so if another is catch. If any error is found, then we say that connection is failed. Console.log error connection failed, and we will show the error message as well. So as we log in, let's see our database is connected or not. Okay, it's server is running. Wait. I see our database is not connected, because in that case we need to go to in database network access. Here we need to like edit. Okay, so in the database options we see that we need to add a network option. Not like that. So in database option we would go to IP address access list. Here we need to put allow access from anywhere. So now if we confirm it, just wait a second. It will, when it is activate, our database will connect it. Let's check it. So it's taking time for activating. Yeah, it's now activate. So if we now go to in our database, let's save it. We'll see our database is connected. So now we have our database connected. Now let's create a controller folder. And another folder is routes. So let's create another is models. Our models file is then. So in the route folder, we will create we will have the chatbot route. So in the chatbot route, we need to same initialize import, let's say express. We need to import express from express, and we need to use we need const router, which is from express dot router. Now export default router. So we have exported, and here we need to just say that we want to router dot post, and here we will see the let's name it message, and here will be our controller. So, and now let's create a model. So for the chatbot model, so we need to use the first user model, user.js. Let's say limit user model. So here in user model, we need to import first. We need to build a schema. Import mongoose. So we have imported mongoose, and let's make it a schema. Const user schema new mongoose dot schema. So here will be the sender. Sender will be the type will be string. Then there will be the it will be required true. Then let's keep an enum. It will be the user. Then one thing is text. We will initialize text, and it is also the type will be string. Text type will be string, and it also requires true. It also required true, and let's give a timestamp. So that timestamp will be, let's give a timestamp. B type date. In timestamp type will be date, and also default time will be date dot now. Okay, now we need to export const user. Just name it user, and we're going to export that mongoose dot model user schema. Now we need to export the user. Export default user. Okay, so we have exported. Now we need to create a controller. Let's create a chatbot controller. So, and also we need another model, that is bot model. Let's say bot model.js. So we need to create a chatbot model element. So let's copy from the user model so that we can haven't need too much. Here the timestamp will be same. Here just rename it that bot schema, and here will be the bot schema. Here will be the bot. Let's name it bot. And now here just text will be same. No need to send the okay. So our bot model also done. So now let's create a controller. So in controller we will give some question, generative question in the chatbot. So non question. If user type on that question, we will give answer. If don't, then we will give answer not found, this type of message. So let's start it. The controller. Let's first export const. Let's name it controller name is message async. Sorry, we need to import as well to async function. Here we get request and response. We will then put a try catch block. Here if error, then if the first we need to get the text from the body. So we will get text from rec.body from our client side. Now text if no text, then just needed that, then we will return them. Return, let's raise dot status. Status will be 400 and dot JSON. So, let's give a mess success. Success will be false, and then the message will be successfully created. Then the message will be no text found. And if that part is gone, now we need to get our user. So for that we need to const user user. So we'll initialize our user schema. Let's import the user model schema user dot get. So we'll create this user. Center will be always user here because we don't, and then the text. Now bot response. So I have already the bot responses file. I will give you in the initial file. You can import from there. So this is the generic message. This is the responses I have did it. So now let's create. Let's normalize this text. Text. Here we will text dot to lowercase. And also we don't want to extra express, for that we use the trim. And now let's get the bot response. Bot single response. So it will be that our bot responses normalize text. If not found, then we say that sorry, I don't understand. So and let's give another. I have one. Okay. Now we will put in the const bot. Let's avoid our bot model, bot schema. Now we will create that. Your text will be bot responses. Let's format this selection, and now return would be status will be 201, and your JSON here user message. Let's give a user message user.txt, and let's say bot message bot.txt. Yep. So if any error found, let's check if any error found, then we will give we will return this. So return res.status 500. Here we will JSON. Here just throw a error, and that will be the invalid server. Now server error. Okay, now we have export this. Now we can import in our chatbot route. So import it. So message. Let's open the message. Yep, we have imported. Now we need to import in our individual file. Here we will use the app.use. So inside that, after connection, we use the app.use. Let's give it version 1 API slash version 1, and now we need to initialize the chatbot. So we need to import this route from routes. It will be in the routes folder in Chatbot. Okay. Now if we save it, just implement. So what is 0? Okay. Okay. Just format this as well. Default chatbot routes. So let's check it. It says that can file the module and import it. Let's check the error. So I think the error is basically we use the type here. Type will be. So if we now save it, we can check. Yeah, our issue is fixed. And now let's try it in the Postman. Let's check it in the Postman. Our name is like if we check. That is API version 1, and what is the route name? Let's copy the route name. This message. So if we now put type API version 1 message, let's try to in the body schema receive a text. So first check why is working on it. So is there is keep that sorry I don't understand. So let's give our responses right away. So what is Python? Let's ask that question. What is Python? Let's see. Yeah, it's give us correct that Python is. So that's it. In the next part, I will design the front end using Next.js. So stay with us. Thank you. Now that our REST API is completed, now we need to create a client side. So we will use the Next.js for client. So let's start. So let's go to the Next.js. Let's install the Next.js. Go to in the installation process. We're gonna use the npm. So let's create the npm here. So let's put another terminal. So this will be our server terminal. Npm run start. So this will be our server. It is running. Now we need to do it from client. I need to get back to that, and here we'll. So instead of that, we will just. So this might be our root directory. Now here we need to just put npm. Let's copy this path instead of my app. Let's give it chatbot client CLI. So this will be the client. So it here TypeScript, no TypeScript, Tillion CSS. We want Tillion CSS. Our source directory yes, app router yes, and toolbar pack no. So no, keep it no. And now it's taking time for installation. So our installation has been complete. Now let's go to cd chatbot client CLI. So now open that file in that folder. Yep, now we are in that folder. Let's start npm run that. So we'll start our client server. Just check it. It's installing. So on the same time, let's remove this part. So let's make it this portion and this. Okay. So now let's clear our page.layout page. This let's just clear it, and here just initially put chatbot infinity chatbot, and no message will show, no image, remove image as well. And so in the design file, global.design, we doesn't need that. Okay, everything okay. Now let's start. So for chatbot, so as it is we in like client component, we need to use useFX, so it will be the client component. Let's do use client, CLIent client. So use CLI. And now for initialize, let's for initial message, let's load for initial message. Let's name it message. Set messages, and it will be the use state, and it will be, let's dummy message. So here sender will be bot, and text will be hi there. Let's give some cool text. Hi there. Hi there. I am infinity AI. How can I help you? Okay. And now let's design our portion. For that, first remove this part. Let's start with div. First main screen, and here will be W will be full, flex item will be in center, we want in the justify also center, bg gradient to pure from white, blue, so let's use the blue 50, and to indigo, so 50 to indigo, let's give 100, so indigo 100, padding will be 6, just save it. We see this is our design change. Now we need to install few things for designing, so we need to first install the framer motion, npmi. We need to install Axios, then install, for icon we need to use the Lucid React, this is for icon, and also for animation we use the framer motion. Just wait a second, it will install that. So our package is installed. Now we need to do our motion. So motion, let's import the motion from framer. Import motion from framer motion. Yep. So we have successfully imported the motion. Now motion.div. Okay, here let's say initial will be, we want in initial opacity will be 0, and also we want to change it will be 30, so we want to animate based on that. Animate opacity will be 1 and y will be 0. Next transition would be duration, let's get 0.5, this would be ideal I guess. Transition will be 0.5. let's use the class name w full. For large skin, let's give max excel. Height would be always 80 viewport height, and flex column. Rounded will be, let's say true excel trail, rounded will be excel. Then we want to that backdrop blur will be to excel. For glass motion design, let's say bg will be white. So we have the 60%, let's do one, and let's give a border also white. Let's give it 30%. Shadow, we need the shadow, and shadow will be 0.8 pixel, 30 pixel, and RGB let's say 0. If we now save it, we see this box is a cool little box here. Now here in the, this is the header. Let's comment out header portion. Let's just comment out, this will be the header portion. Here I need to show deep dots px6. Let's show py will be 4. Border, let's say border bottom, and border white, that gives it 40%, and background white, it will be 60. Rounded t, let's keep it excel, and backdrop blur also want to the backdrop blur will be to excel, 1 to send. Flex, justify will be between 1 2 items, center. If we now save that, we see nothing happen, but each one dot, let's use the text to excel. Let's give it infinity AI, and let's use some emoji chat. Let's use this emoji, text to excel. If we just save it, we see that. And let's give font to bold, and also text gray 800. Now it's look pretty cool. Now for this portion we use the span. Let's give class name will be, let's give the text size will be, text will be sm, small size, and text gray, let's give 600. Message will be always here to help. Okay, our message is shown. This, our header portion is gone, so this is the header portion. Now we have to write the chat messages here. So for, let's comment it, chat message. Just use the deep, flex will be 1. Here overflow y auto. Padding left right will be 6, padding top bottom will be 4, space y will be 4. Scroll, so see, let's say scroll bar, scroll bar, so we don't need that. Now here's, now let's map. So this is our message, so initial this option will be show the, so these are message. Now message, now map this message. So let's say message, so we have the message. Let's just give it dynamic messages so that it's obvious. Messages dot map, here we will get a callback message and the index. Then we just need to give it now motion dot deep. We will say that class name would be, let's we need to give it class name dynamically, because let's put class name dynamically. Flex, now if message with dot sender, let's see if we get sender to user. If message dot sender is equal to user, then we would like to use the justify end. Otherwise, justify will be start. Justify start. Okay. Now we have the animation of portion. For animation, just let's copy this portion, animate initialize. This is our animation portion. Just copy here and paste it. This warning shows because we don't pass key. Let's pass key here. This one. So now this warning is gone. So if we check, animated portion is also up fine, but we want opacity will be 10 instead of 10. So here we need to read delay will be and to 0.56. So now let's show the message part. Text sm. So in that part we will show the message part. So here it is also dynamic because we want to show the background. So let's give the first max width would be 75% first, then padding will be 4, padding left right 4, padding top bottom 3, text will be small. Let's give the font medium, and rounded will be 2 XL. Shadow will be small. Now we need to check if message dot sender equal to user. If we check if message dot sender is user, then we will change the background. So the background color would be bg gradient to be from blue 600 to indigo 600. Text will be white, rounded to bottom right none, and if not, then we will show the bg will be white 70. Let's give opacity 70%. Text gray will be 800. Border white be 30. Backdrop blur would be smaller, rounded none. So now if we will paste our message text. So if we see, this is the message we are showing now, initial message. Now we need to show a button for input. Let's put a button for input area. So this is the message section. Now for input part. So in input part, let's give deep pp4, padding will be 4 in input part. We want to put a border top, border white 40, bg white 40, so bg white, let's give it 70. Backdrop blur, let's give XL. Rounded bottom will be 2 XL. Flex item center gap will be 3. Now now we will enter the input field. Input type will be the text. Let's give input text. So input type will be text. Value will be input. Let's now initialize the input part. So here we need to install const input comma set input into use state. Okay, so this is the input, would be obviously value will be input, then no need id now. So here we need to no need id, we'll use the class name. So let's use the flex one pg white. Let's give 80% now for input. Border, because border is needed, border white. Let's give a 40%. Rounded would be, let's save it, rounded excel. Rounded would be excel. Padding left right 4, padding top bottom 2, text gray, sorry, let's give text gray 900. Let's get text gray 900, and focus outline would be none. So if we now save it, just check whether it's okay. Nothing showing, but we get input field. Let's change the color. Let's change on focus. We want to show ring 2 and also focus ring blue 400. This will be the 50. Let's check it. Now it's showing the blur, and here will be the placeholder. Let's say placeholder would be type your message. Let's check it. Yep, now it's showing now. And we need to use the on change event. We will use true event on change event. So on change we'll get event. Let's set into the set input dot target dot value. We will set in that the input, and now on another event is on key down, so we'll want to handle that as well. On key down, if the key is enter, only we want to show is if the key is enter, then we will call the handle submit. So we need to create a handle submit first. Let's create a handle submit, const handle submit. So it will be a async function, and so here just call the handle submit. Okay, so it will call the handle submit function, and another button for send. Let's say the button, let's say button. Here class name first will be the cursor will be pointer, and let's say background busy gradient to right from blue 600 to indigo 600. Text will be white, padding left right 4, padding top bottom 2, rounded excel. Shadow will be MD. Hover, let's opacity will be 90. Opacity 90. Transition when disable, we have option like disable. Opacity would be less tips. When disable, opacity would be, let's say, 40. Disable. Now here we would say on click handle submit. This is the on click function, and disable. So we need to check the loading. We need to add the loading state, because const loading loading set loading is equal to use state will be the false. So initially at loading we want to show the disable would be when the loading is 2, then we want to show the disable option, otherwise not. Now we will need to import icon. We will import the icon. Let's icon is sent cmd send from the site react. Let's check it. Size will be, let's give 20. Let's give, okay, that's, let's give 18. It will be perfect. So size, this is the size, and now we can enter it. It's working. Okay, now we need to handle the handle submit button. So let's start. Or another thing we need to handle it after that is after the chat part. So here we need to check if loading is true, then we only show then we want to show that div dot some message text. Okay, 500. Let's give that the bot is typing this message. Text will be sn. Let's give the link for design animate pulse, and here another thing. So we need to just put the div. So we need to put inside this portion because we want to show after the part. And other thing we need to check for smooth behavior. So we want to, if we want to create smooth, so we need to use the const for smoothness int ref. Let's use the int ref is equal to use ref would be initial null. Now we need to check the use effect. It will dependency will be the message. When the message is updated, then it will trigger. So dependency will be message updated. Here we can say in ref dot current view. Now we need to call that in ref because we need to call that in ref inside that function. So it will be div ref will be in ref. Okay, now that our all the things is done, now we will call the import the API connection. All the design part is complete. Let's see in the UI. So it is fully responsive. So now handle the API part. So first of all we will check if no, first check is that any input. So for that we will check that if no input dot string, we don't want extra white space. So if no input there, so then we will just return from that. We will return. Okay, then now const, let's say that user message sender be user, text will be input. This will be the user message. Now we need to update set messages. Here we want to update immediately, so we will use the prev. Now here we want to get the previous all the data. Now import the latest messages we have updated. Now and set input will be cleared. Here set loading will be true. So this is for now. Now we need to call the API catches, so that we use the tie catch block. Here we will call the const. We will get const response from, let's use the await Axios, import the Axios dot post. We'll post from the server. Let's our API is that message. We'll copy, just copy the API and import. So import it here. After that, we need to pass the payload, and our payload will be text, not input. Now our payload is also passed. Then we will get a response from the API, and that is, let's name it const. We will get these two responses. So we'll get this bot message. Next, okay. Just bot message will be sender. Yes, sending it to bot, and text will be res dot data dot bot message. So now we need to update it in the set messages. Set messages, we need to update the aggregating. So it will be previous. We want to get all the previous data using spread operator, then the bot message. If any errors show, then let's handle that error. Set messages as well. So here if previous, then just handle it. So we want to state the previous state, so the previous all the data. Now for the latest one, we will be the same with the bot, and text not found any response. Okay, now our catch part also done. After that, we will use the finally method. So dot finally. So we will use the finally method. So here in finally, or the set loading will be false. So now if we just format the document, so let's check it. What is Python? Let's just check it. Sorry, don't understand. So let's give it another. What is SQL? Let's keep is taking some. Yep. So our API responses work. So that's it. Please stay with us and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.